Throughout history, we, as humans, have used the power of our minds to achieve incredible and amazing feats. In reality, our minds are simply tools we use to create our thoughts. And the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our experiences. A simple shift in perception will quickly and easily improve how you feel and what you believe is possible, helping you to achieve all of your personal goals, even those that previously seemed unattainable. Join us now as we explore the vast landscapes of our minds. This is Mind Over Matter.
Good evening, I'm Mitch Friedman.
And I'm Brandolyn Jokiel, and you're watching Mind Over Matter, where we teach people how to use their creative mind power to feel better, overcome obstacles, and successfully reach their goals. Oh, Mitchell, I love saying that every Saturday night. So thanks for tuning in and watching. And Mitch, before we get into our wonderful show that we have tonight, I just wanted to ask you how your week has been.
You know, it's been a really nice week. I've just been enjoying it. I've been spending a lot of time outside. Plus, we've been getting ready for this big push with our CDs and our some of our programs that we record. So I've been really busy with that, and I've learned so much about how to use this Macintosh. So all you people out there that have been helping me with Macintosh and GarageBand, you have no idea how much I appreciate you and how much time you've saved us for recording. So that's one thing I've been really busy with this week, and it feels so professional. I'm in my recording studio every day. It's fun. Yeah, how about you? How's your week?
It's been really good, and I'm going to have to do a little soliloquy, a little apology to Mr. Mac, the Apple computer. I joined a Toastmasters group here in Albuquerque, and I love the group. Wonderful people, so much fun. And I went to a little meeting. It was a smaller meeting of the group, and I just went off on Mac because we had been really frustrated with some of the things that we were doing, and we couldn't share between our computers. Right. And I was still working on a PC. One of the people there was like, "Really? Because I love Mac. I've worked on it for years." I was like a Mac enthusiast, and I thought, "Oh my goodness, I've committed the cardinal sin. Don't talk about politics, religion, or PC versus Mac." And the funny thing is that as we worked through the things during the week, and I actually edified myself on Mac and became more knowledgeable about it. It's actually a really great program. It's really powerful, and so, mea culpa, I'm sorry. It was my fault. I wasn't understanding what was going on. So there's some sort of conversion happening in my brain between those two types of computers. Actually, I owe a big apology to Sam because he was right. I mean, he was not confrontive at all. He was just so surprised that I was so negative and vehement about it, and I think it really just stemmed from my frustration from that point in time. So, I just sounded like Mary from So You Think You Can Dance. I've been watching that show so much. I love that show, So You Think You Can Dance. And Mary is like kind of crazy and uses all these different voices. I think I just channeled her. So
I love all those dance shows too. The one thing that drives me a little bit nuts about them is somebody's got to lose, and they just have to tell them in front of America, in front of the world, that they just couldn't dance. So you thought you could dance, but you really can't, you know? And it's just breaks my heart. Patricia was talking about me, fighting for that underdog.
Speaking of that, Mitch, our viewers don't know who Patricia is.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so Mitch did a fantastic interview with Patricia Foy from Spirited Light Beings. She's a Vedic astrologer, and she does a chart for both Mitch and I, and she really gets into Mitch rooting for the underdog. Fascinating interview, so much information, and it's somewhat of a lengthy interview, so we should probably stop our little chitty chat and just get right on into it. So here's Mitch and Patricia Foy.
Enjoy. Good evening. I'm here tonight with Patricia Foy with Light Spirited Beings. Isn't that a beautiful name? I just think that's so beautiful. A+ on that.
Thanks.
And Patricia is a Vedic astrologer as well as a teacher in Vedic astrology, and you also do an intuitive channeling. Is that right? Yeah, excellent. So, Patricia, tell us a little bit about how you got into Vedic astrology.
Up until about 15 years ago, I knew nothing about it. I hadn't ever even heard of it. And all I knew of astrology was what I've seen in the newspapers with the sun sign columns. And I, 15 years ago, well, 14 actually, moved to New Mexico. And right from the very beginning, everything went wrong. I was talking to my brother and just saying, you know, gosh, is it this place? And he said, well, we just had a reading, my wife and I, from a Vedic astrologer. And it was a locational reading, and I'm kind of going, huh, you know. So I said, well, okay, let's try this out. And it was fascinating. It was so useful, the information that we got. And I just got so fascinated by it that I started studying. I wanted to know, how did he do this? Because I came out here to find my second career after having been a software engineer for a couple decades.
Oh, that's a big jump.
Yes, it was. And so I just really fell in love with it. It's really powerful. I got credited through the American College of Vedic Astrology, it was then. And then I began working with a tutor who I worked with every week.
So you're a certified Vedic astrologer.
Yeah, certified Vedic astrologer.
So you talked about you and your husband getting the reading. You got the reading, and so what do you do with that? How does Vedic astrology actually help people? What do you do with that information?
The main way it helps an individual is through birth chart, and it helps you enhance your inner and outer life. The thing about Vedic astrology, it's predictive. So it's forward-looking. It's essentially awareness so that you can make better choices. And there's things that you're consciously aware of, which it will help, help expand on. Your subconscious things that you have going on, it can kind of help bring those to the surface so that you can be aware of those, because those influence your choices a lot. And unless you're aware of them, you don't know why you keep getting into these scrapes or bad relationships or whatever.
Exactly. How we talk about that with Brandy and I, it's like down in the subconscious we have all these limited thoughts about ourselves, and when we can't really heal that until we become aware of it, we bring it up to the conscious mind where we can analyze it and figure it all out and make different choices. So is that what I'm hearing you saying?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And it really helps a lot with that because you can see patterns in the chart. And the other thing that it's really good at is helping people with moksha, which is spiritual liberation. And what
we like that already.
That's sort of where, we have our choices, we have our conscious choices and our subconscious choices, and we've all heard about the law of attraction.
Yeah.
We work with that, and yet there's this other element that I think is really important called moksha, which takes us beyond even all of that. And it's, in fact, Vedic astrology is called Jyotish, which means the science of light. So it not only sheds light on things, but it helps enlighten and helps you find that peace within.
So excellent. So, you mentioned predictive. And I'm a little bit curious about that. When you say it's predictive, are you saying you're predicting the future? Because now we're talking about choices. So it's just telling you a little about the future and you still have choices. I know some people hear it's predictive. They think, oh my God, this is it. It's in stone. Yeah. It says in my chart I'm going to be a failure, therefore I am a failure right now, and that's it. So tell me a little bit about predictive.
That's a perfect question because everybody wants to know. So is this, does that mean it's cast in stone?
Exactly.
And essentially, the reason it's known as being so predictive is because it has built into it things that are unique to the Vedic astrology, which can show you like the longer rhythms of your life. And it can show you also the shorter rhythms, but it just kind of shows kind of a flow that's happening. And then what we do is we talk about different ways you can work with that. Maybe ways you want to enhance it, or if there's things that you don't like about that, ways that you can kind of help alleviate some of those things. And built into Vedic astrology is